mean, that's not a good look for your organization when, hey, if that's your backup center on the practice squad, that's one thing. This is denoted, this guy's your team captain. Now, so this radio station, 104.5 The Zone, they are the official flagship station of the Tennessee Titans, and the Titans have allowed them to have unabated access to the spring training, and so they got a couple of jobbers out there. You know, the morning guy, I guess the morning team's already out there.
Yes.
And the midday team will be out there, the girl or the guy, or the afternoon drive team will be out there.
They probably pipe in Dan Patrick, Bubba. You know, who knows what's going on with these sports stations
Right,
these
exactly.
days. These might be the only guys.
This station has a high school football show in the afternoon. They do a high school football breakdown in the afternoon.
Oh, that's great.
So,
I mean, yeah. These guys are a couple jobbers just when it comes to, like, you know, sports broadcasting. You don't see DAE doing football. Like, come on now. This is small market Willie here. So they send these two jobbers out here to, you know, cover the Tennessee Titans. Now, one of the big I think he's been declared the captain already for the team. Is the Simmons guy.
Jeffery Simmons?
Jeffery Simmons is a defensive lineman, is he not?
Yes.
Or edge? Is he edge?
No, he's inside. He's excellent.
He's like as good as that guy from the Rams. Or Darnold?
Well, Donald, he might be the best, but of all time. But no, Jeffery Simmons is very good.
This guy's kind of in that conversation,
he's
right?
probably the best in football right now.
And so this little nerd boy here, I guess it's this dude right here. What's his name? I don't know what his name is. He's been going on his social media talking some smack potentially about this Simmons dude. Now, this Simmons dude is a very intimidating looking man.
It's Buck Reising.
Yeah, but Buck, don't bust me up. Buck Reising. And I don't know that he's been critical of Simmons on the air or of he's done it all on his social media. But Simmons has gone and seen it.
Twitter. It was all on Twitter.
So it's all on Twitter, not on the air. So, and I got to think, Rhett, you might be able to find me, like, what is this? What's this guy's name? The host, Reising, right?
Reising, yeah, Buck Reising.
Buck Reising. What is his total followership? Like, I mean, like, does he got, 12,000? Does he got, like us, 108,000? Like, what's his reach? And maybe Simmons should use that as a contributing factor on how mad he gets.
41,300.
So that's decent. That's decent.
I mean, you don't need a huge following to get one of the players' attention, especially if you tagged him or talk trash.
So this guy, this Buck Reising guy, is at camp. The Simmons guy kind of walks by the broadcasting area and starts kind of having words with the Reising guy.
So I'm not sure if this is from the same practice, but a tweet that Buck Reising had sent out. Simmons just swung at Latham after some pushing and shoving. There was a fight at practice. Ref said 98 would have been tossed in the game. He's back in for the next two and immediately starts another brawl. Sloppy. Simmons needs to lock the F in.
Okay. I mean, as your local sports guy that might be considered...
it's a practice!
No, hold on. As the local sports guy that's watching, that you've been invited to watch practice and give your opinion of, that's in bounds. I think that's in bounds.
Yeah.
A little dickish, but in bounds.
It's in bounds, yeah.
He's just talking about the play that he witnessed on the field, and he's the invited broadcaster. So that's in bounds. No, well, Simmons didn't think so. Yeah, here's the exchange.
Jeff, you want to sit down? We can talk whenever you want to talk. Jeff, we'll deal with that later.
He sounds like that standard sports guy. Try to talk like that.
Do we know what he was saying to them?
No, hold on.
We'll deal with that later. Roger McCreary sitting down with us here on 104.5 The Zone. Jeff, I mean, we're on the air right now. I'm right here, Jeff. We can talk anytime you want to.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
I heard that.
Yeah. Calls him a pussy.
He said you do a lot of talking on social media, so I did hear that also.
Well, he said, I don't want to talk to you. He said, we can stand here and talk about it. And he says, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. And then
so what is he supposed to do?
Hold on now.
I'm right.
He said, you do a lot of talk on social media. The host handles it correctly. He didn't say, "Hey, listen, man, and you know what? I'll talk about some more." He's like, "Hey, man, sit down, right? Let's go right here, right now, and figure this out. If I need to apologize to you, or you feel, you know what? Well, let's handle it right now. Let's not continue. Let's put a stop to it right now." So I think the guy being a pussy, kinda, is Simmons. I think Simmons is being a pussy.
No, I kind of agree with you, and I say it this too. He's a team captain.
Right.
This was right after practice had ended. Maybe less than 20 minutes after practice was over. Which means he went in the locker room, got on his phone, read Twitter, and then felt the need to come out here and confront this guy live on the air. I don't need that from my team captain. I don't need a hothead who gets upset at social media.
And that's why I think that the Titans are saying that they're maybe sitting down and sitting with Simmons.
Bubba, we get upset about social media.
I know, but we're not.
We would love to confront the people who say it. They're just not broadcasting out in the open like this.
We just aren't. And Seth, newsflash, we're not NFL players.
Right, but I mean, we still have to deal with it.
Yeah, you're right.
Right here, Jeff. We can talk anytime you want to. Unbelievable. We got
pussy. Bring it. I mean, that's not a good look for your organization when, hey, if that's your backup center on the practice squad, that's one thing. This is denoted, this guy's your team captain. They've already declared him the team captain.
Doesn't he make that happen? Wasn't it kind of like how Sap was, though, back in the day with the media?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. We'll go there.
Was it not?
Well, we'll deal with that later on. Roger McCreary sitting down with us here on 104.5 The Zone.
And the funniest
Jeff,
thing is that
if you want to sit down and talk about...
What's that?
The funniest thing is the initial tweet that he's upset about is him losing his temper at practice and how he needs to cool down.
Right.
There's got to be some. There has to be more. Like there's got to be probably more over.
Well, it looks like Reising tried to talk to him last week, and Simmons blew him off. And I guess then that Simmons now thinks that he came after him because he got blown off for an interview.
Yeah,
I think some of these athletes are just human beings, and like we've seen it in Tampa. I think some guys are just sensitive about the media. I think some guys get caught up in what people say, and they feel the need to respond. Like Devin White was one of those guys on Twitter.
None of these guys
responded to everything.
None of these guys. This is just local broadcasters that got maybe decent followings, but we were the number one rated. We had a 20 share. Men 25-54 in Tampa. We were syndicated like an 8 or 9. I mean, we were syndicated in Orlando. We were syndicated in Jacksonville. We were syndicated in Miami. We were syndicated in Fort Myers. We were syndicated in Atlanta. We were syndicated in Dayton. We were syndicated in Connecticut. We were syndicated in Richmond. Did I say Dayton?
No, yeah, Dayton.
So we're syndicated in all these cities. And when we were on the radio, we didn't have social media, but we had our radio station. And so when Tampa was our home team, and so we would always have comments about the Bucks. And so the Bucks players would actually have to hear this on the radio. Because we do bits. We would do bits like if Trent sucked or if, Sap. Remember before Sap signed, he was supposed to be like top 5. And then they got this marijuana thing. Remember they man, he tested positive for marijuana. And the Bucks wouldn't have gotten him at what, 14, 12?
12 or 13. I think 12 or 13.
The Bucks wouldn't have gotten him. He was supposed to be top. He was supposed to be long gone. And they said the Bucks... Actually, Culverhouse, I think it might have been, still had the team. I don't know. But the Bucks are the ones that spread the rumor so that he would fall, is what a lot of people said.
He was number 12, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Hey, buddy, we'll draft you, and then we'll come down here and smoke you out in Tampa.
Right. So here's this. So these poor guys back in the day, if these current players just can't handle a little bit... Now, that's just a little bit of heat. A guy is watching your practice. He comments that you're throwing fists, that you had to sit out for 2 plays, and that during a regular game that might have got an ejection and that you need to tighten up. Okay, those are all constructive criticisms, and none of which are out of bounds, but not nearly like this. We would make a song that was heard in 14 cities across the state about a Buccaneer, and then the Buccaneer would have to listen to it on the way in. I mean, we would always strategically knew because we knew what time they drove in from our buddy Darren Kearns, who worked for the Bucs, and we would know that they were usually driving in about 7:15, and then by the time they got into the locker room, all their other team, because we were the Bubba the Love Sponge show, 98 Rock, like everybody listened. If you were a man, and we weren't light, where we just, like, oh, Warren got in a fight and got thrown out for a couple plays, and that's it. That's all the guy said. The guy said Simmons threw fists with this one dude, sat out 2 plays, might have been an ejection during the game. Simmons tighten up. That's what he said. That's it. We used to do deep, really, really mean stuff. The current players, Seth, couldn't even.
Are we reveling in this, or are we just saying?
I'm just saying, like the back in the day, man, the players really had to be tough and put up with public criticism.
Oh, it's way worse now, Bubba.
No, you're gonna tell me it's. If you're Trent Dilfer and you're driving in and you got to hear this. Oh, I'm sorry. You're Warren Sapp, and you got to hear this. You just dropped from 3rd to 14th or 12th so the Bucs can get you, and you're driving into work and you hear this song.
Hey, come on, Cheaty. Let's get high.
Cheaty was changing, man. What the fuck you talking about?
Shit. Oh, man. I guess I'm already high up in this bitch.
Okay, well, we always put the unedited versions on the albums. But this is what he had to hear.
That's a big blunt you got there, Warren.
Damn right. You know how I roll him. I'm a big boy. $6 million a year. You know I'm smoking the best doja.
Let's get high.
True.
I was a #1 draft pick before I got high.
I mean, you have to hear this, and then when you walk into the locker room, Seth, all the boys are like, "Man, Warren, I heard your song, dude."
Bitch, yeah, I was.
I used to be so fast and quick, but then I got high.
4240.
Now I just act like a prick, and I know why. Cause Warren taps high, Warren taps high, Warren taps high.
It's already a sensitive topic. It's why you dropped in the draft, Lummy. And as you're driving into work, you got to hear this.
I was gonna hit the quarterback until I got high.
I was gonna pound that son
I
of a
was
bitch.
gonna get 24 sacks, but then I got high.
Bitch, if I don't get him, I quit.
Now I'm lying flat
Bitch, if I don't get him, I quit.
on my back, and I know why.
I'm fat.
Because I'm fat. And then this one that actually, Seth, we sent big. So we used to get on Trent Dilfer so bad because, he would play good. Then he'd play like a complete ass bucket. Then he'd throw like 3 picks, and the Bucs were just so inconsistent with him. Then granted, he went on with Baltimore and won a chance. He was like that Brad Johnson. He was just a good enough quarterback just to not lose the game for you because your defense, your Ray Lewis, and your John Lynch's and your Derek Brooks are going to win the ball game for you. You only got to score 17 points, you're going to win.
Yeah.
That's the Brad Johnson / Trent Dilfer template. But when he was with the Bucs, man, we used to get on him so bad and so big. He was doing an autograph appearance at West Shore Mall, and Big Dick went with a Bubba the Love Sponge out like this album right here to see if Trent would sign our album. And this album had all of these, Trent Suck songs, and he took Big Dick and like took his head to grabbed his head clear down to the table and threw him off the stage.
Nice.
Yeah, he got really mad. Think about if a player did. And nothing really happened. Like 98 Rock had to tell the Bucs we were sorry, and the Bucs had to tell us that they were sorry, and that was it. That's all it was. No money, no lawsuits, nothing like that. Think now, man, Seth, if Baker Mayfield or would lose his cool and take a radio station employee's head down to the table and throw him off the stage physically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
John Morgan would be calling. NFL player, throw you down on the ground, call. Pound law, that's all. These players don't have to put up with nothing compared to what we put our players through.
Dear Diary, Today against the Green Bay Packers, I got
This is, by the way, this is Dilfer's diary, Lummy. Okay.
Yeah.
a severe deep thigh bruise. It hurt so bad I couldn't stop crying. It's really big.
Good morning.
And purple and
Scientist
ugly.
Primo Levi was born on this.
Shut up, bitch. What? She's always chiming in.
You know what? She might be trying to squirrel you on other topics when she pops up.
I hope the other players appreciate a quarterback who's in touch with his feminine side.
So if you're Trent Dilfer and you're hearing this, we just called you a pussy with a deep thigh bruise because he went out of the game, Lemmy, with a deep thigh bruise, remember?
Yes, a lot of times.
And the media was like, deep thigh bruise? Come on, bitch, pat it up and play.
Dear Diary, the fans have really been riding me hard. Today I went to the park and played touch football with some kids to relax. I was intercepted 4 times.
Am I the only one that finds that funny? Did you say yes, Lemmy?
I find it funny.
Oh.
Sorry.
So anyway, can you imagine if Simmons had to deal with that? He was riding in, and this radio station was playing, playing parodies about how,
Yeah, but all he has to do is go on his phone, Bubba, and he gets to see people talking trash about him.
Yeah. Is the sentiment is the sentiment not pro him? Are they like, Simmons, you're being a dick? Is that kind of the sentiment, or they said that the Titans might make him have to apologize or something?
He might. It really doesn't seem like it's a whole lot of anything, but Simmons should probably just check out on any Titans beat writers or any Titans radio guys.
Right? You think Buck Beasley? You think he gets thrown out? You think the station says
no? I don't think they did anything. Football teams do have major control over the media and their whoever broadcasts their games. Like they over at DAE, like the Bucks. What was it? The Bucks were mad about. The Bucks threatened to take away the credentials of somebody because they were saying bad things about, like, Baker Mayfield or something.
And whether it would be on air or social, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, and not anything bad, like personally, just like about play, and they threatened to take it away. So
it looks like it all kind of started when Simmons on July 11th put a tweet out. I'd just be seeing a lot of tweets and hit that bookmark. How do some of you guys cover us but hate us so much?
An interesting question.
Yeah, and then
it's almost like our fans. You cover us, you watch us, but you hate us.
Yeah, and then I guess Buck.
We need to have a course, Seth, on how to get these guys ready for hate.
We're not ready yet. Are we teaching the course, or are we just going to the course?
We catch a lot of hate. I think we're dealing with it pretty good, aren't we? We're not self-destructing, are we? Maybe we are.
No, well, at least these guys that are saying things about the Titan, if they are hating on the Titans, they are getting paid to do it. A lot of these people do hate us just for free, which you got to appreciate that.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.